Now we start this hour in Europe, and Ukrainian police have evacuated 9 civilians from the embattled city of the Kostiantynivka in the Donetsk region, as Russian forces intensify their assault on the eastern front line. Officers from the White Angel evacuation unit have moved through streets lined with destroyed vehicles and buildings to reach trapped residents. Many of those rescued were elderly, unwilling or unable to leave despite continuous shelling. Police have also said that they discovered the body of a woman killed in a recent strike. Her son, who assisted in retrieving the body, described how 2 direct hits struck the building while he was next door. Let's take a listen in to what residents of the area had to say about the incident.
Никакого толка. Бах, и все. А я на лавочке сидела. Ногу сильно ударил, я не знаю, какие вообще крыша и все.
Now, Hyundai Yudin, a 48-year-old officer with the White Angel unit, has said it has become impossible to enter Pokrovsk, another city under heavy fire. He explained that evacuees are being asked to walk to nearby villages where rescue teams can safely collect them, as vehicles have become prime targets for Russian forces. In Kostiantynivka, officers have helped residents pack belongings, assisted the elderly and reassured others reluctant to abandon pets. Now we're joined by Alison Mutler. She's the former Associated Press bureau chief in Romania, and she joins us live from the Romanian capital. Alison, it's always a pleasure to talk to you. Of course, what's leading the headlines right now in this conflict is, of course, this huge battle for that logistics hub in Pokrovsk, but that, of course, can't distract us from the fact that fighting on the ground is very much intensifying in other areas as well. Of course, Ukrainian police during this are evacuating civilians from these cities that are under siege. What does this tell us about the intensity of the fighting and the humanitarian situation on the ground?
Russia is concentrating its attacks on this area. It's very important. It's Donetsk, which is the area they're trying to seize control of. But this Pokrovsk is actually where there's an important Ukrainian logistics center. So if that were to fall, that would seriously damage Ukraine's war effort, which is why there's so much pressure being piled on by Moscow, particularly on Pokrovsk, but also on the other villages that you mentioned when they're trying to evacuate. So there's a lot of Russian pressure. They're concentrating their attacks there, and Ukraine is doing its best to defend it because they know if this Pokrovsk falls, then that will seriously harm their war effort and give Russia a sort of easier ride into the areas it wants to seize.
Now, of course, Alison, as the saying goes, the first casualty of war is truth, with both sides releasing conflicting statements on how this battle for Pokrovsk is going. How does one go about navigating the information coming out of the region?
Well, I think, again, we have to thank very brave war reporters, particularly from international news agencies. I saw this morning Reuters particularly has sent a team in there, and they've been filming that. And I think it's obviously if we have foreign news reporters on the ground, and we do in this case, then those are the sources we should be relying on. Of course, they will also take statements from the government, but if you get both sides, then there's some kind of picture. But again, it's the brave war reporters from the international news agency and international media that are there on the ground. I think they are the sources that we can trust most, and they do it at great risk. There have been deaths of many journalists since the conflict began in 2022. But for me, when I see that it's an international news agency they're reporting, that gives me credibility. That gives me I know what they're talking about, and I can trust these sources.
Yes, and of course, both Pokrovsk and Kupiansk both reporting very, very heavy fighting currently. Let's focus on Pokrovsk first. What would that mean for the broader spectrum of the war? What would this mean for the war if Ukraine was to lose this crucial logistics hub, as you've mentioned, in the east?
Yes, I mean, that's obviously what Russia is trying to do. They're trying to pressure Ukraine into submission. They're trying to get Ukraine to surrender this area. If they do manage to seize this logistics center, this will very much, as I said earlier, harm Ukraine's war effort in defending, particularly Donetsk, which is the area where Russia is putting the most pressure on. So it would be very bad news for Ukraine indeed. It's just coming out in these last few days because obviously in Ukraine there's news from different places every day. But this is where the crucial battle is going on at the moment, and this is where Russia is putting on all the pressure. They're trying to get basically Ukraine to crack, Ukraine to give in, and basically Ukraine to lose so they can seize the territory they want.
Yes, indeed. Alison, do stay with us. We have diplomatic updates, but we would, of course, bring